You read that title right, and I'm going to get into it a little bit. The first thing I do want to say, though, is me and Eric have had a podcast scheduled for his channel for a few days. And I am very sorry to him, even though a lot of this was obviously out of my control. We'll get to that too in a second. But I also want to apologize to you guys because it's not cool to keep seeing, something being postponed. So I'm going to let him know the day of. So it's going to be very soon, within the next couple of days. We'll pick a day. I'll see if he's available, and we'll just do it that day. And I'll get into more of the beginning of this story because there's lots that transpired. But let me just tell you right now that, I got the bracelet to prove it. I was at our good friend, the emergency room. I was not only at one emergency room. What led up to this was I was at another for someone else dealing with something else. Now, what happened there was, I'm not going to discuss it. I'm going to save that for the podcast. It's a good story, but I'm going to have to be vague on some things, but just trust me. While I was doing all this, I started to feel kind of weird. This is and again, you've seen the title, I'm a little still out of it. I'm going to say it was Thursday-ish or something like that. I don't remember. But I was starting to feel a little weird after I had dealt with a certain situation. I was like, I think I just have a stomach ache or something like that. I don't know what's going on. So I went over to the local urgent care over here and, in Ritchieville, where they just the only good thing about the urgent cares over here is they have premium glass bottled water and stuff, and they're well, yeah, because you're overcharging me for everything. But there I see Dr. Stupid, and this is why I'm going to call her Dr. Stupid. So I go in there, and she's like, what seems to be the problem? I'm like, I don't know. I just feel really kind of sluggish. And then I mentioned to her that at that point, I'm like, I haven't slept in 24 hours either. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just letting you know everything because they ask you everything. So she's like, okay, can you lie down on your back and, let me feel your stomach. And she's like, oh, you should go to the ER. For what? And she's like, well, you should go to the ER because I think that you're a little backed up. Either you're constipated a little bit, or maybe you have bowel obstruction. Those are two vastly different things, honey. What are you talking about? And then she's like, yeah, we would need to do an x-ray here, but you probably need a CT scan because they're more thorough. And I'm like, and more expensive. And I'm like, if I'm getting a CT scan, I'm getting a blowjob with it. Somebody's going to be massaging my tits on either side. I want to hear the music I played over the speaker. No, it's a lot of fucking money. So I basically kind of just thought, okay, she's not right. I'm just going to go home. I'm going to I don't know, I'll take some fiber or something like that. It'll be okay. It was not okay. I started to feel worse. I had to go to the ER, and the ER is not a fun place. I had to go there last night and I got a workup. Let me tell you that right now, because what I went there for was, and I tried to deal with this out of the hospital. I tried my regular doctor. I didn't know what was going on. I'd soon realized I was on 2 days of sleep. No sleep. I think on Friday, Saturday. I don't remember. But no, this would have been Sunday. Again, I was on 2 days of no sleep. When you get to 2 days of no sleep, shit feels funny. Not funny, haha, just weird. Everything is brighter. Everything, I was forgetting a lot of things. If I didn't have my keys or my wallet near me, I would literally forget where I put them in a matter of seconds. And I'm like, this is not good. I don't know what to do for this. Call my doctor up. They're like, try melatonin, try Benadryl, try that. I tried all of it. When I tell you I tried all of it, I tried literally everything. They said double the melatonin, did that. My stomach's still hurting in the meanwhile, so I'm like, maybe that's what's keeping me up. I have no fucking idea anymore. And none of it worked. When I tell you I was wide awake, I was wide awake. I was like a fucking cokehead or something like that. That would have made more sense to me. I wish I'd been on cocaine. Because that would at least, I would have known, I'm on coke right now, so that's why I'm wide awake, or I'm on a bender or something like that. I had no clue, so that's frustrating. Stomach's still not feeling great. So go finally, and I wait in the ER. And first of all, I love the people of the ER. Like, I saw two people that were really funny. The first person was an old rich bitch whose husband, I guess, had blood work at the ER. Meanwhile, other people are sitting there like crying, like holding their stomachs, and she keeps going up to the front desk doing this number. When are his test results going to come back? Okay, we have been here like 2.5 minutes, and this is ridiculous. When is his test results going to come back? Okay, fine. I know you're busy. It's not your fault. Comes back. I swear, like 5 times she did this. She's like, at the end, she's like, something like that. She goes, he could have internal bleeding. That's all we're trying to find out. Can you just like call the doctor? This is a secretary. She can't do anything. She can't call a doctor and be like, all she can do is call a doctor and be like, there's a real asshole up here. I'm just telling you that right now. Actually, I'm speaking Portuguese, so she don't understand it. And I'm just going to tell you she's a dickhead and don't talk to her. But I was like, if she didn't shut the fuck up, I was going to be like, you're going to have a blood clot because I'm going to throw you and bash your head on the floor if you don't shut up. So, okay, that. And then there was a teenage rich Highland Park girl who like walked into the ER and goes, yeah, totally like that too, like with the pajama pants and all that. She's like, I punched a wall and I like broke my hand. I swear she said it exactly like that. And her poor father standing there next to her. I'm like, and you should have broke her other hand if she punched a wall, like some little angry ass. What, you didn't get the Ferrari this year? You got the Bugatti instead. She's upset. I get it. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting there thinking, okay, this is not great. This is 4 days now. I finally added it up. I'm like, why am I getting progressively worse while I'm sitting in this ER? What the hell is happening to me? Like, I'm getting shakes. I'm hearing my name called when it is not called. And I finally look on my phone and I like somehow managed to count up the days. As of yesterday at 4 a.m., I had been up for 4 days straight. No sleep, not a nap. I'm not talking a micro nap or anything like that. Straight. When I told this to the doctor, he looked absolutely shocked. Well, my stomach thing, they felt around everything like that. They're like, we don't think that's like any stool at all. We're like, we don't think you're constipated. Like, but there's something there. We're going to check it out. So we do have to give you a CT scan like shit. So they do that, and they give you that dye when you get a CT scan. And I love when you go into the little tunnel of like lights. They've got like LED lights now, so it's kind of funky. I wanted to stay there. But the guy's like, I'm going to inject you some iodine, and you're going to feel like you're going to pee or poop on yourself. But you're not. What if I want to? Okay. So they did that, and then they take you back, and you have to wait like another 2 hours. Meanwhile, the only thing I hate, and I get it, is that you have to sit there, and I had not eaten yet either. Like, I literally forgot to have my last meal. I had not eaten in forever. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, can I get a cup of water? The doctor doesn't want you to have a cup of water yet until he sees the results. Seriously, what is 2 drops going to do? How bad is it going to alter anything? Because we need to do some blood work too, and that could alter it. I get it, honey. I really do. But I'm talking, could you just throw some water at me and I'll put my tongue like that and try to catch some? I need something. I am so dehydrated right now. It's not even funny. I have an IV here. Could you put water in that? No, we can't. So I'm like, okay, great, fine. I come back, and it turned out they thought it was diverticulitis, which I'm glad I don't have. It's a rough thing to have. I know somebody's got it. I know 2 people actually had it. I had colitis that I got through an infection. And colitis just makes your whole stomach, my whole entire stomach was inflamed. They gave me some shots and some meds and all that. And then they noticed something still wasn't right with old Jay. They're like, I was just kind of sitting there and fumbling around to get up. And they're like, what is going on? And I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't slept in 4 days. What? Have you tried this? Have you tried that? Have you tried this? I have tried everything except sacrificing a baby. And if you have one, I will do it. So they get all these results back or whatever like that. And it's this little infection thing, which hopefully clears up soon. And I feel better. But then they're more concerned about like, okay, well, you've tried all that and you're not sleeping? And I remember the one nurse saying to me, how are you still standing? Thanks. And I was driving. I know. I wouldn't have driven if it was Chicago. Like if it was Chicago and there's cars on the road and it wasn't wide roads and there's no one out at night. And I tell you, I drove 2 miles an hour. I had no one to drive me. no one I know has a car anymore. That's just, a lot of people don't have cars, I guess. But the lift, I felt stupid because I'm not that far, but it was too far to walk from it. So I'm like, I will go 2 miles an hour like I am an 80-year-old Asian lady. I don't care. I will just go really, really slow. I managed to get there. And so then they're like, we've never seen anybody go. The longest we've seen is 5 days. So like, if I hadn't have slept today, like I would have been 5 days. The shit I was seeing when it really all hit me was when I left yesterday, today, see what I'm talking about? At 4:30 a.m., they said, we're going to prescribe you this over-the-counter med. We think that'll work too for the sleep because you need to get to sleep. They're like, your levels are way down. Luckily, everything else serious was ruled out, but they're like, yeah, we don't even know how they didn't even know how I was able to make a cohesive sentence. Like, you're supposed to be a blithering idiot on like 3 days of no sleep. Kind of. 4 days, you're supposed to just, be drooling at the side of your mouth and just shitting yourself, I think, and not able to do anything. So they sent me to an all-night pharmacy because it was 4:30 in the morning. I had to get this med. I'm like, I will not make it to an all-night pharmacy. Is there anything? There was one right around the corner, basically, from the hospital. I'm like, great. I go to this Walgreens pharmacy, I pull in there, I get in there, gives me a prescription and all that stuff, and then she's like, oh, this is for insomnia. You having trouble sleeping? I'm like, oh, it's going to be like 4.5 days pretty soon. She's like, and the whole look of horror on a pharmacist's face, and she's seen some shit too, and she's like, oh my God, how are you standing up? I mean, I've done 24, 48 hours even when I was back in college, just making me feel wonderful about being there. I'm swaying a little bit. I'm kind of dizzy, but it didn't stop me from like going over, thinking about getting Starbucks. But when I passed the Starbucks after I get my med and I looked over and I see somebody sitting there, and upon closer double look, there is nobody there. I'm like, we need to go home. We need to go home now. We need to pray to God something works because I'm on my way to breaking a Guinness record I don't want to break. So, like I said, I finally got home around, I want to say 5:30 in the morning or something like that. I get in here, I was texting with Eric. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. He was really nice. He was checking up on me and all that. We have a very interesting podcast coming up, by the way. Extremely interesting. I get in, and I am just, when you don't sleep for 4 days, when you start to sleep, my heart was racing on and off for about 2 days before that because of that. I mean, you just start to kind of nod off a little bit. Like, I didn't nod out completely to where I'd get a little microsecond sleep. You nod out, and you're jolted awake just by your own heartbeat doing this shit again because everything's screwed up. And then I read my paperwork and everything. They're like, because I was so sleep deprived for so long, they're like, it's going to take you at least 2 to 3 days. That's not, counting the stomach virus, right? To recover just from not having that sleep, because you need to, some damage might have been done. Luckily, we think not. So last night, I'm like, let this work. Of course, I'm the stupid ass who looks up every prescription, and never look up a prescription because it's always people are going to leave a negative nightmare review. Like, I took this prescription one time and my infant died and came back to life and assaulted me with my own dildo. And you're just like, oh God, what the fuck? Why am I reading this? I vomited 8,000 times just looking at this medicine. I don't know why anybody would want to take it. It's a death sentence. Let me tell you something. I took it, okay? And I didn't think it was going to work. I was miserable. I'm sitting there praying I would just nod out. A wave came over me that I'd never felt before. My eyes were shutting. I was like, thank God I'm already lying down. I put my phone down for a second and I blanked out. Now, I only got 4 hours of sleep, but only 4 hours compared to 4 days, I feel like a new fucking person. Completely. Now, I'm on this thing for 7 days so it can put everything back to normal and all that, but yeah, I just thought I would share. I do also want to leave you with the question, one of the questions the doctor asked me about the insomnia part. I said, so have you been doing everything right? Keeping it at a cool temperature? in the room where you sleep? Do you have blinds? I actually try to sleep just when the sun is shining, facing it. No. And then the question I love the most. So do you prepare the room emotionally? Do I look into the bedroom? I'm going to sleep now. Is it okay with you? Gonna take a little nighty-nighty. JJ gotta go Betty Pie. All right, here I come. Get under the cozy covers. I'm gonna lay down on this nice little fluffy pillow. Are you fine with this bedroom? I think my bedroom's prepared. I'm like, I guess he means like, what do you think I'm doing? Turn down service in my fucking house and get into bed, fart, and sleep. That's it. So yeah, that's the story. Like I said, I'm still a little like, but getting there. So I just wanted to update you guys. And hey, in a way, I kind of feel like a superhero because everybody else was just like, they thought I would be like keeling over, and I was able to walk and talk very well. I was just having tremors and like, nodding out a little, trying not to nod out, but yeah, it was fun. You can tell I'm still a little loopy, but just wanted to come on here. I'm going back inside. I'm eagerly waiting my next dose when I can take the sleepy medicine again tonight and get even more sleepy and feel better. It also makes you talk like a child, apparently. Later.